I should finish my work quickly, otherwise madam will scold me again. Thinking you were cleaning the photos on the wall when your balance gets lost and you start falling down. Then someone catches you. You closed your eyes for fear of falling. When you realized you had not fallen to the ground, you opened your eyes and your eyes met those of man who was looking at you with his deep eyes. Thanks for saving me from falling. Why were you cleaning the photo? He takes you off his arms and asks, Madam asked to clean the photo. You speak with your head down. He says, John, where are you? His voice was so loud and cold that you got scared after hearing it. What happened, Jungkook? Why did you call me? Mrs. John asks as soon as she comes into the living room. Why did you tell her to clean up the pictures when I told you that you could not give her any orders? His voice was so cold that Mrs. Jeon started trembling with fear. Jungkook, I did not tell her. She herself told me that she wanted to clean the photo. You were surprised to hear what Mrs. Jeon said because it was Mrs. Jeon who forced you to clean the pictures. Mrs. John, I know you very well, so don't lie to me. He is badly obsessed with you and he can't tolerate someone treating you badly. Mrs. John's face turns pale after hearing Jungkook's words. I'm leaving you assuming this is your last mistake, but next time, even Mr. John can't save you from me if you misbehave with her. Saying this, he held your hand and went to the third floor. You did not do anything right by telling Jungkook everything. You have to face the consequence. Mrs. Yoon thinks to herself as she sees you leaving. Jungkook is a psycho mafia king and he is also the CEO of Jeon Company. Jungkook has a cold personality. He likes to talk very little. Mrs. Jeon is his stepmother. She is a greedy woman. Jungkook does not like her at all. Sir, please leave my hand. My hand is hurting. Jungkook was angry, due to which he held your hand tightly, which was causing you pain. But seeing Jungkook's anger, you were not saying anything to him. But when you could not bear the pain, you said to him in fear. When Jungkook heard you, he let go of your hand. You will not follow anyone else's orders except mine. You nodded after listening to Jungkook's words. Okay, go freshen up. You nodded your head and went to your room. You are 20 years old. You are a very innocent and introverted girl. After your father's death, your stepmother sold you. When you found out that your mother had sold you, you ran away from home. You were walking on the road after running away from your house when you met with an accident with a car. That car belonged to Jungkook's grandfather. He brought you to his home and after asking Mrs. Yeon to take care of you, he went out of the country on an important work. After Grandpa left, Mrs. Yeon made you her maid and she made you do all the work in the villa. He did not like to come to the villa, but once he had to talk to his father about something important, so he came to the villa. Then he met you. Since then, he started coming to the villa every day. Gradually, he became obsessed with you so much so that he did not like that you even smiled and talked to any servant, due to which he made you his personal maid. Jungkook was talking to someone when you knocked on the study room door. Come in. Jungkook disconnects the call and says, "Sir, your coffee." You put the coffee on the table and said, Jungkook was about to pick up the coffee when he noticed your hand, which had turned red. He held your hand and started looking at your hand. How did this happen? Hot milk spilled on my hand while making coffee. So why did not you apply the ointment? You don't say anything after hearing Jungkook's words. You sit here, I'll come in a little while. He made you sit on the chair and went out of the study room. After some time, he brought the first aid box. So your hand. He takes out of the ointment from the first aid box and applies it to your hand, causing you to close your eyes as you feel the pain and hold on to his shirt tightly. When he sees you in pain, he starts blowing gently on your hand, which gives you relief. Don't make coffee for me from now on. Hearing Jungkook's words brings tears to your eyes. What happened? Why are you crying? He wiped your tears and held your face and asked, if you throw me out, where will I go? Just because I refuse to make you coffee does not mean I am asking you to leave. Then why did you refuse to make me coffee? You can do all works for me, just not make me coffee. But why? Because I don't want you to get hot again. You feel happy to hear this because someone cared about you after your father. Go to your room and rest. Hearing Jungkook's words, you went to your room. Mrs. Jeon was sitting in her room angrily when a maid came into her room. Madam, your work is done. Good. Saying this, she takes out money from her handbag and gives it to her. Thank you, madam. You keep working for me like this, and I will pay you even more money. Actually, the maid poured hot milk on you at the instruction of Mrs. John. Sure, madam. Go and keep an eye on her and keep me update on her every moment. Okay, madam. Saying this, she leaves from there. You have made the biggest mistake of your life by being enmity with me. Smirk. I'll talk you about this later. Saying this, he disconnected the call. Help me. After listening to Jungkook's words, you took Jungkook's jacket and started wearing him. Jungkook's breath starts to become heavy as he sees you close to him. Sir done. Jungkook, who was lost in your thoughts, came to his senses after hearing your voice. Get ready. You will go to the office with me today. But why? I need you there, okay? You are getting bored sitting on the couch and then someone comes into the cabin. What are you doing here? Seokjun is Jungkook's bodyguard. I have come to help, sir. There is a green file on the boss's desk. Give it to me. Who punched me? Saying this as soon as he looked in front, he started trembling with fear because Jungkook standing angrily in front of him. As soon as you saw Jungkook, you hugged him and started crying loudly. Don't cry, I'm here. He speaks while caressing your hair. He holds your cheeks gently and says, I don't have anywhere to go. Saying this, you hide your face in his chest. I promise I'll come after a while. Now you go. Obeying Jungkook, you went into the attached room of the cabin. As soon as you walked into the room, Jungkook's eyes, which were calm in your presence, now turned red with anger. Daniel, give me the gun. Daniel is Jungkook's assistant who came to the cabin with Jungkook. Actually, as soon as Jungkook came to the office, he left you in the cabin and went to attend a meeting. After attending the meeting for 2 hours, he started worrying about you. So he left the meeting middle way and came to meet you. But when he came to the cabin and saw the sight in front, his eyes turned red with anger. Boss, please forgive me, he says, holding Jungkook's leg. Actually, he understood from Jungkook's behavior that you are special to Jungkook. Did not you hear what I said? Boss, do you really want to kill him? After hearing Daniel's words, Jungkook looks at him angrily. Then, out of fear, he gives him the gun. He said, pressing his shoes on his hand, causing him to scream in pain. The cabin was soundproof, so neither you nor anyone else could hear his scream. Just shut up. You know I like peace, so why are you screaming? The cabin should be cleaned when I come out of the washroom. Saying this, he goes to the washroom. After some time, when Jungkook comes out of the washroom, he sees that the cabin is as clean as before and a shirt was kept on the CEO's chair. He wears that shirt and goes into the room. As soon as he comes into the room, he sees you sitting scared on the bed. Are you okay? Jungkook asks, caressing your hair. As soon as you see Jungkook in front of you, you hug him. I'm with you all the time. You don't need to be afraid of anyone. As you fall into Jungkook's arms, you feel relief. He is too bad. Saying this, you started crying again. Stop crying now. He will never come in front of you. He starts caressing your back slowly. After a while, Jungkook felt your deep breaths on his chest, and when he looked at you, you were asleep. You came out of your room to drink water, and then you saw Jungkook, who was staggering to his room. Seeing Jungkook like this, you walked towards him. Your room was on the same floor as Jungkook. You did not live in the servant quarters like the other servants. Earlier you lived in the servant quarters, but ever since you became Jungkook's personal maid, you live on his floor. Sir, what happened to you? Give me a good title. If I like your title, I'll write a FF according to your title.